Get ready to go live.
Welcome to another episode of Your Voice Matters.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Sunday to you. Like the message says, welcome to another episode of Your Voice Matter. I'm your girl, Viv Cunningham, with Preferred Real Estate Brokers selling the American Dream here in Central Florida. And of course, I have my sidekick with me, Beverly. Go ahead and introduce yourself and
Hi.
say hi to the folks that are out there that are going to be listening in. Today, we're broadcasting live on Twitter and YouTube. My LinkedIn account was disconnected, but next week I got it connected this week, but next week it will be back. Um, I had to change the password on it. Somebody changed the password on it. Somebody changed all my information on it. So I had to fix it, and then of course I had to upload my driver's license and to make sure that it was my account and stuff like that. So I did that, and but it was still kind of a little tough getting it back because I needed a recovery email, and I also needed the regular email and all that stuff. But eventually I got it back, so now it's back working. So it should be live on YouTube as well next week. But you know, today we're here talking about navigating the Central Florida housing market boom. And I was talking to my sister, and I was talking to a lot of people yesterday about, we complain about that there is a shortage of houses. There is a shortage of houses, as they say, but there's still a lot of houses that are being built. There's a lot of apartments that is being built. So there is a lot that's going on out there in the world in Central Florida. But they're just cutting down orange trees, putting up houses right and left. What if it's not house, it's apartment. They're just so much going on out there where when there are share my screen. Okay, here we go. Yeah, they're just there's a lot that is going on out there. So today we are here talking, as you can see, it says navigating the Central Florida market. But of course, there's a whole leap. Not but what I think we need. Okay, it's my opinion, not anyone else's. Is affordable housing. There's a lot of houses that are going up. Lots of houses are going up. I was driving through my sister's neighborhood yesterday because every so often, what I do is, if I'm not in a hurry, then what I usually do is take the side roads. And I took the side roads yesterday, and of course, there's road that is being built, and there's apartment that are going up, but there's not enough affordable housing. We need house price. A lot of people are at the 350, the 400. A lot of people are at that stage in their life at that price. So we need to create some houses between 350 to $400,000. And then of course Orange County and Tampa, Hillsborough County is giving the large grant, given a large grant on each of those, depending on you. You may not get the exact 50,000 or 90,000 that Tampa is giving out, but at least you might get something depending on your credit. Of course, your credit needs to be up to par. We're at least 620, 640. So keep in mind that that's important. It's important for you to make sure that you're keeping your credit good, making you sure you're keeping your credit worthy. The current state of Central Florida market, I said the market is good right now. Houses are staying on the market. Even though they say there is a shortage of houses, houses are staying on the market now an average of 90 days. If it's a lot of time, if it's not priced right. But there's people that are still buying like crazy. So don't let that keep you out of the market from not purchasing. So you need to be able to purchase it. So, today we're talking about breaking news, the current state of Central Florida, the trend. I like the trend. I like what's going on. There's a lot of sellers are still selling, which is good. And I'm enjoying that sellers are actually still selling, and then buyers are actually still buying. The interest rate that's here now is it's not a bad interest rate. I think it's a good interest rate. I've seen lenders, I've seen builders sending me that they're buying the rates down to 3-4%. So it's still a great market to be buying. What I'm saying is go ahead and get your credit ready. If your credit is not ready, go ahead and get it prepared. Work with a housing counselor. I teach the home buyers class once a month, and I just the people just graduated. They just graduated on Friday. I'm so excited. There was about 30 something people that was inside that class. So I'm excited that there was people are still taking the class like crazy. And I think they should get themselves ready, because a lot of time, we are not ready. So therefore, stuff pass over our head. God opened up doors, okay? He opened up doors for you when you're ready. But it's almost like when the nuns, the ladies went out. One person was ready and they were prepared, and they had their lamp lit with oil inside of it, and they were ready, so they were able to light it and go in. And then the other two didn't have any, and they wanted to borrow oil from the one that was ready. So you got to get yourself ready. Okay, because God does open doors for you. But if you're not ready, how is it that you're going to step through that door? Right, Bev?
Right, right, right.
You
About
can't
the
step
10 virgins, five were wise and five foolish.
yes, you cannot step through the door if you're not ready. So you need to make sure that you're getting
Right,
yourself ready, getting yourself prepared. You can't wait till the moment
right.
of when God comes back. Or Pastor was asking people today in church about if you're saved. He was winning people's souls. Do you accept Christ in your heart? You got to get yourself ready.
You
You
have
know,
to be ready.
you always got to be ready, at a given moment. Because yesterday I was at a funeral yesterday, and they were talking about the dead in Christ will rise first. Okay, and then the ones that are left behind will meet him in the air. So you got to be ready, because you never know. I am 62 years old now. Okay, and I just turned 62 on Monday. And I walked into the store and I went to go buy a cream. It's not an expensive cream, but I've been using this cream for many years, between that and Vaseline. So I use Ambi on my face, and I went into the store, and I also use black soap. So I went into the store. The black soap, when I buy the big bar, so it lasts a while, about a month. I went into the store, and the lady said to me, she says, "Oh, you know what? A lot of people come in here and buy that, but your skin is so beautiful." And she said, "My other friends, them that use it, their skin is beautiful." But I said, "Just think about how inexpensive this one little tube of thing is. Inexpensive. Before it was a dollar something. Now, of course, years later,
$5 something
yeah.
and
Now
more.
it's like now it's more than $5. Now it's like
It's going up now.
$8 and $7. When I went into the store, I think it was the Ambi was like $8, almost $9. And this other little thing that they came out, new thing that they came out with, it was like $8. But think about just buying something for $8. And you can put it on your face, and it's not expensive. But people will try and sell you all these things, these different things, and saying you need it, you need it, you need it. But you know what? God knows what you need, and He gives it to you. He gives it to you. He already have it all planned, and He gives it to you exactly when you need it. Not when you think you need it, but when God thinks you need it. That's when He gives it to you. So we have to get ourselves ready. We can't just sit there and not wait. Just like with our credit, we have to get our credit ready. Okay, so the home buyers class, okay, the home buyers class, I'm gonna put it in the chat right down at the bottom right here. It's every first Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of the month. It goes from 6:30 until 9. So get yourself ready for the next class. The next class is coming up in November. No, October. We're in September. The next class is coming up in October. So get yourself ready, because there's money out there. If lenders are
Yeah.
telling you that there's no money out there, don't believe them, because in Lake County here, even though we don't have a big down payment like Orange County have, but just think, we have USDA loan, we have VA loan, which is zero money down. Can you imagine, you want to go rent an apartment, and they tell you zero money down to go rent the apartment? You run to go rent that apartment, because you don't have to worry about coming up with a deposit. You don't have to worry about coming up with last month rent. You don't have to worry about coming up with first month rent. So you know what, come to think of it, that's probably why we don't have such a big grant in Lake County, because Lake County is USDA, and being USDA, that means zero money down, so you don't have to worry about the down payment. Orange County, you do have to worry about the down payment. So maybe, we talking it through, that's probably what's going on. But so there's a lot of stuff to be ready for. you know all right. So to access a wide range of activity and buyers tip, contact me, contact Bev, contact Neville, contact anyone. We're able to provide that to you. And there's so much stuff out there. But between buying a house, if it's a FHA loan, of course, with the FHA loan, the property need to be in good standard for the bond for Orange County, and I think for any other county. But I mainly work in Central Florida. I don't know about Tampa and things like that, but I'm sure that's the same way. The property has to be, the roof has to be good, the AC have to be working, and there cannot be any wood rot on the house. Right now I have one buyer for that I'm searching our house for. It's a little tough because she's trying to use down payment assistant to do that. So it makes it a little bit difficult. But you know what? I tell people, I said, don't give up. Don't give up, because there's something out there for everyone. So but strategies for buyers looking to secure a home, there's so many. The market is competitive, so you got to make sure that when you bid on a house, okay, if you're using an FHA loan, you got to put in your best offer. Don't lowball the seller, okay, because then don't forget that if a house is at 350, a lot of people are looking for that house at 350. So you got to make sure that you are actually putting in the right offer. It's important to get pre-approved. Okay, it's important to get not pre-qualified but pre-approved. That means you have turned in all your document, the lender has run your credit, and they have collect all your bank information and job information and things like that. So you want to make sure that you're ready. Offer advice, and make your offer as strong as you can. Okay. My suggestion is, if you can afford a home warranty, get a home warranty, because a lot of time you move inside of a home, and what happened? The inspector does the house, and then all of a sudden you don't move into the house for another 60 days or 45 days. And guess what happens?
Something broke.
There you go. Something broke. Right now Beverly is she's getting on the mend, where her pipe broke inside of her house. So now, she slowly putting the house back together, because of course the house is not completely finished, but she's slowly putting it back together. But insurance company was able to take care of that because it was the whole house that was flooded. But if it's like a hot water heater that was broken, or the AC is not working, at least you can pay a little $50. And then I do have a home warranty company someplace here. The home warranty is $449, and there is no deductible on this one. You just pay $449. I did take it. I went to some kind of show and something like that, and they gave me this. So $449, and it'll cover the air condition, the compressor, wall thermostat, Freon recovery, eating for the gas. It cover ice water dispenser, refrigerator, dishwasher disposal, water heater, self-cleaning oven, washer and dryer, and built-in oven. So it
That's
cover
a
all.
good one.
Yeah, and it's for $449, and you don't
Four
have to worry
forty
about.
nine. That's a great
I
one.
think so too, and I keep saving it. So yeah,
For
it's four.
all
Yeah,
those things that you
yeah,
cover
yeah,
there.
yeah, for four forty
Wow.
nine. Yeah, I think it's really, I save it close by, because what I do when I fill out my offers, I try to make sure that I'm in a mentorship for NAR. And then I mean, so I usually recommend it, but I'm starting to recommend it more now, because my coach told me, my mentor told me, she says, why wouldn't you protect your buyers? If you know that stuff like that happens, where the hot water heater is busted, and they just paid up all their money, and they don't have any money to fix a hot water heater or something like that, and they use up all their money. So why not get a home warranty? Either you
Mm-hmm.
can pay for it for yourself, or if not, you can pay. We being a realtor, Bev, you and I being a realtor, we can always offer it as a gift to
That's a
our.
great gift.
Yes,
That's a great gift.
a gift to our buyers.
Mhm.
And if the seller doesn't have one, because sometimes some seller do have on the property a home warranty. You don't find it as much now, but you were finding it before. But I would say, you want to protect your buyers, to make sure that they're protected. And and they're when they go inside of a house, they're not house poor or house broken. Make sure that you're not taking your buyers outside of their price range. Make sure that you're keeping them within their price range. And what I do when I set up a search for a buyer, what I do is I if they're approved at, let's say, 350, I'll take them up to 375, because I know sometimes the property stays on the market a little bit longer, so then therefore you can kind of negotiate down.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to do that. You got to protect the public as much as you can. You got to protect your buyer, you got to protect your seller, because you are there, you're
Absolutely.
the expert. You're the expert, so you got to make sure you're protecting them and making sure you're giving them good advice. And if
Yes,
you don't understand it,
absolutely.
go find out. Find out what is going on. Do not give them bad advice.
You're right.
I had a
Sometimes you
young
may not
lady.
have all the answers, but you tell them you will find out the answer for them. And
Exactly.
you do it and get back with them.
Exactly. So I had a young lady that called me, and she just bought the house, and she says that there was ants inside the house, and she has antsophobia. And I understand. I'm not. I really
That's a
understand.
new one to me, really.
Yeah, she's afraid of the ants. So, she
Hmm.
said she just bought it last Monday, and she called me and wanted to sell the house. I told her there's no equity inside the house. And then she did also got a grant. I think she said she got a $20,000 grant. And I told her, I said, you're gonna have issues because you're gonna have to pay back that grant.
Yeah.
It's a FHA loan, so you're gonna have to move inside that house. I said,
Hmm.
what my recommendation is, I am gonna check back with her on Monday or this week, come in to see what happened. But I told her, I said, reach out to your lender and tell your lender what's going on, because your lender is the one that gave you the loan. And then also reach out to the down payment assistant program that you got the money from, to see what can be done, because she already re up her lease, reassigned her lease on her apartment. So that means she's going to stay in the apartment. So
Hmm.
that's not a good situation. But
That's
that's
not
what
a
you always,
good thing.
and
Whereas she can just spray the place and get rid of the
she
ants.
said she sprayed it, and she said the ants are still there. And she said it's in the rug, it's in the carpet. She said it's all over. So I'm not forcing somebody to live inside of a house, because just like I said, she has a phobia of the ants.
Hmm.
And it's almost like a lot of people who have a phobia of snake, or they might have a phobia of spiders or something like that. So you
Hmm.
can't tell somebody that they got to go live inside of a house that they don't want to live in. That mean they're going to be miserable. So you don't really want that. You want to give them the best guidance, and the best guidance for me, because there was no equity in the house. She said she paid like 455 for the house, and the house is worth 457. So there's no equity in it, because I told her, I said, when you sell a house, you have a lot of fees you got to pay. You got to pay realtors
Hmm.
fees. You have to pay all the
The
proration.
realtor.
You got to pay. You have to pay. There's proration that you got to pay, and there's closing fees that you got to pay. So now this house is probably going to turn into a short sale if you do put it on the market. So you got to be careful when you're guiding your buyers, of making sure that you guided them the proper way. Taking care of them. And funny thing is, I looked up the property on the MLS, and the seller did fill out the seller's disclosure, but the only thing, Beverly, the only thing that he did not check was about the pest. Did you have the house treated for pests? Is there any pests in the house? That's the
Hmm.
only thing was left blank. I said, well, your realtor should have realized that and go back to the seller and ask
Right.
the seller to says what's going on. This is the only box that is not checked. And that's what it goes back to say, don't let the money cloud your mind, making sure
Yeah,
that you are
that's
taking care of the public, and making sure that you're taking care of your buyer, making sure that you're taking care of your seller.
that listing realtor did not do her due diligence.
Neither did the buyer's realtor didn't do
Mhm.
it, because the
Yes.
buyer's realtor should have caught that. See,
Hmm.
sometimes the
You say,
listing
why
realtor
is that
don't
not
necessarily
checked?
catch that, because here the listing realtor saw that they filled out just about everything. But when the buyer's realtor is reading through that, they should have realized that box wasn't checked. That to check to say, was the house treated? Was the house treated for pests?
Mm. But I'm wondering too, at the walkthrough, how come they didn't see signs
She
of that
did. She did see signs of the ants, and she
at the
mentioned it to them.
walkthrough?
Yes. And,
Then,
and then I was talking to someone as well, Bev, And he said he said when I went up to the association on Friday, um to present a check to one of our legislator. um I was talking to someone, so he says that something like that happened to him one time, where in the night, all of a sudden, the house become roach infested.
Mm.
So all of a sudden you turn off the light, and then boom, all of the roaches comes out. He says something like that didn't happen, but he says that those people had enough money. So what they did was gut the entire inside and redid the
Mm-hmm.
house. But this lady here, it's a fairly new house. It's a nice townhouse, fairly new. It's not like she can gut it. So
Yeah.
we can't tell her to go live inside that house, because she already says she's not living in the house. And that's why I told her to
Mm-hmm.
go back to her lender, and the down payment assistant thing, and see if she can get some help, because I cannot just say, well, you got to live in the house. That's not the way it goes.
Yeah.
You got to protect them. You got to guide them and stuff like that. So yeah. But I'm talking about negotiation and price expert tip for sellers. Okay, for sellers, you got to remember, you have to price your property right now, because for sellers, the property are sitting on the market a lot longer. Even though we still have a shortage of houses, the properties are still sitting on the market, because what's going on with sellers thinking that their house is worth more than it is. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I met
Mm-hmm.
with a seller this week here, and I did a CMA, a market analysis. The house is worth, I think it was like 700 and something thousand, 780,000 or something like that. But the seller's thinking that the house might work 800,000. So I said, well, this is what sold in your neighborhood. This is your square footage. So then, therefore, anywhere square footage was off a little bit, because of what was online. I guess what was online, they recorded it differently. But I said, okay, so you just bought that property, and 2 years ago, if it's brand new, you would have signed off on a plat, and you would have signed off on a diagram, and you would have signed off on how many square footage. I said, send me that. So then she finally sent me that, because she was thinking that her house is like 3,200 square feet. But she was thinking that our house was 4,000 square feet. So I told her, no,
Oh.
it's the entire house that's 4,000 square feet, including the
Mm-hmm.
patio and the garage. I said, when you do a CMA, a market analysis, what happened is, you got to take the heated square foot divided by the price, and then
Right.
the square footage. It's not the entire house,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't count the heated when they're doing their appraisal. So you got to know how to price your house. So price your house properly, okay? Making sure that you get a stager to stage it, or if not, have your realtor walk through the house and tell you what needs to be done. With my kind of people, I always say, stage your house enough and make your house be ready, so when people walk in, they feel like they can just move their stuff in there. Don't be having
Right.
your stuff all around and spread out, and
Make
your
sure the
pictures all.
corners
Yeah,
are
right.
accessible,
Yeah, make sure
because
make
a
sure you
lot
can
of
open up
people.
closets, and making sure that there's no making sure that everything is accessible, and everything looks good.
Mm-hmm.
As in, you can stage your house. You don't really need anybody to stage, not unless it's really bad. If it's really bad,
Right.
but if you have furniture inside of it, and you just need to take down some pictures off the wall, pack up some of the stuff that you're not using, then you're
Make
good
it
to
as
go.
sparse as possible.
Yeah, make space out the house, take out some of the clothes out the closet. Okay, do any extra repair that you need, and remember, curb appeal. Curb appeal
Mm-hmm.
is important. Okay,
Number
curb
one.
appeal, making sure that when somebody drive by your house, because when I teach the first time home buyers
I
class,
like it.
I tell them, I says, drive by the house, making sure that there's no shingles missing from the house. Make sure the roof looks good. Make sure outside of it look good. Make sure you like the neighborhood. Don't drag your realtor out to go look at a property, and you go, as soon as you go there. Oh, I don't like this neighborhood. You should have did your research. Go ahead and do your
That's
research.
right.
Do your
Drive
research and
through there in the nights
drive
and
through the night,
see
drive
how it
through
is.
lunchtime, drive through dinner time, making sure that you're
Mm-hmm.
comfortable in that neighborhood. Because remember, I'm selling you the house. You got to make sure that
It's
you're comfortable in there, even though I'm selling it to you.
mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell you what the crime is going on in there. I'm not going to tell you that there's a shooting in there. I'm not going to tell you none of that, because I'm
No,
not allowed
that's
to
not
tell
for
you that.
you to tell them. If
Okay,
they
I
want to
can't tell you
find
that.
out,
So you
they
got to
go
go do
do
your
their
own research.
research.
There is something called Uncle Google. Go on Google and Google that stuff. Okay. A lot of time, people wants to ask your realtor. Your realtor cannot disclose that. It's not something for us to disclose about. We can't disclose the schooling because, there's busing. I remember I used to live off of Silver Star and a Popcove Island, and they bust my daughter from all the way from there all the way to Dr. Phillip to go to school. So when there was two schools in the neighborhood, there was one on the east, there was one on the south, and there was one on the west, and then there was one on the north. So you just never know where they're going to be. So we cannot tell you that. You got to research those things for yourself. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it's
Mm-hmm.
important. Curb appeal, highlight important things inside your home. I always ask my buyer, I always ask my sellers, okay, to write me a description of your property. Okay, what do you love about your property? Because I am not going to be able to describe your property as much as you are, because you might be living in this property for 30 years and you're the one that be able to describe this property compared to me trying to describe the property. And then I write the description and you don't like it, you want it changed. So I always tell my sellers, go ahead and write a description. Go ahead and tell me what the payoff is on the mortgage. Okay. Give me the HOA contact information. So I have all of that stuff. Any document that you have supporting. If you have the utility bill, what's your utility bill like? What's your cable bill like? I was talking to one person in the home buyers class on Friday, Beverly, and she was telling me she lives in an apartment or whatever she lives in. Whatever she was telling me her light bill was $400 a month.
What?
Yes. I said, you sure? She said, yes, $400 a month. I said, girl, something is not right. Something is definitely not right. So you ask the seller, how much does the light bill run? How much does the utility bill? Don't be afraid. If you have a question for the realtor, you can always ask the realtor to ask the seller. Okay, your buyer's agent. So we have a seller's agent and we have a buyer's agent. If the buyer's
Mm.
agent is working with you, ask your agent to ask the seller's agent, what's the light bill like inside this house? Okay, so you're not going in there. My brother,
Blinded. You're not going blinded.
yeah, you're not going in there blind. And my
Mhm.
brother likes to keep his AC at 400, at 60, let's say 70, 69. And his light bill usually runs $400, but he's okay with that. But you by yourself and you get in the house for 350 and you get in some down payment or some closing cost help at whatever, $40,000 or $20,000 or whatever, you're getting help. So therefore you're not going to be able to afford a $400 a month light bill. So check out all of that stuff for yourself.
That's really
Do your homework.
crazy,
Do your homework.
especially in an apartment.
Yeah.
Something is definitely wrong.
Yeah. So, but that's the
Somebody
thing.
might be using her light.
That's what I was trying to tell her. I said, but that's the thing. That's why I'm glad that Beverly, everyone that you come across should be taking the home buyers class, because I
And
told her something is wrong that you need to check out.
I sent 3 people. I haven't gotten back to them yet to see if they did go to the class.
Yeah, follow up with them because those are your follow up. Make sure that those are your follow up. Make sure that
Yeah,
everyone
3
should
of
take a home
them
buyers
I
class.
sent.
Okay, everyone should take a home buyers class to make sure
Yes.
that you learn so much from it. You
Yes.
learn what to look out for. You learn not to be taken disadvantage of. So
And I explained to them. I explained to them before. I said, this is something that you need to do because you learn everything from A to Z about buying a home. Plus, you have the opportunity to apply for down payment assistance.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping that they took it to heart. None of them got back to me yet.
Well, this week. Just follow up with them this week. Follow
Oh
up with them.
yes, definitely,
You know,
definitely.
let's talk about mortgage. Okay,
Mhm.
so my friend Junior Simmons, used to work for a mortgage company. He had owned his own mortgage company, and then he worked for a couple mortgage company in between, and he went back and opened up his own mortgage company. So on the home buyers class, we talk about a mortgage broker. So now he went back to go be a broker because he said that he can get people better deals when he's a broker.
Uh-huh.
Okay, because then what he will do is shop your mortgage around for you. So then therefore he
Right.
can get you the best deal.
Yeah, because he has access to several
Right.
companies
Right. So
that he can choose from.
Right. There's many,
not
many,
when
many,
you're
many different
employed by
options.
one mortgage company.
Right, right. If you're just doing one, then you just have to take whatever
Yes, you're
project.
limited.
That's why in the own buyers class we give them a list of lenders and says, "Hey, go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and call these lenders. Don't let them pull your credit. Okay, just call them and ask them what is it, what they have, what kind of benefit that they have, what kind of deals that they have, what kind of program that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Find out all of that first before you let them pull your credit, and then after that, the ones that has the best deal that's going to be suitable for you and your family, then that's when you
Right.
choose them, and then that's when you have them run your credit because they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna need to run your credit. Okay. So,
Exactly.
but there's many, many, many different options out there. So look at all those options. That's available out there. There's so much different option that's available out there. You just have to know that there's different options, and you don't have to settle. You don't have to
And
settle.
if they have to do a credit check, make them do a soft pull. That
No,
does
no,
not.
not lenders cannot do a soft pull, Beverly. The
uh
only person that is can do a soft pull is the
the
housing counselor. The housing
uh,
counselor, because the government set it up that way, where the housing counselor can do a soft pull, but the lender
mhm.
has to do a hard pull because remember they're lending you their money, so they have to find everything. So, but if you want the housing
But you
counselor to
know, the initial I'm talking
No, if
about.
if you if you get in a mortgage, you get in a mortgage, Beverly. Okay, you don't need no initial pull. If you choose once you choose a lender, okay, let them pull everything. So therefore, if the score is gonna drop, go ahead and let the score drop at the beginning. Make sense? Right.
Well, it's a good thing that you have what, 30 days,
Right. So
so
there.
you can
So
do
you got
everything within that 30 days, and
Exactly.
it
So go
doesn't.
ahead and do the hard pull and get it out of the way. So
Mhm.
then, therefore, it will give you enough time just in case it drops it. It'll give you enough time to build your back up your credit back up in order to close. So don't do a soft pull at the beginning. Do a hard pull, okay, and then after that, then you get going. So we're gonna talk a little bit about inspection, Beverly. We talk a lot about inspection in the own buyers
Mhm.
class. Inspection is so expensive. Okay. And the reason why it's expensive now is because of the insurance company. And there's a
Oh
lot
yes.
of stuff. Okay. So we have the regular house inspection, Bev. We have the 4 point inspection. We have the wind mitt. We have the termite. If there's well, we got the well. If there's septic, we got the septic. Okay. So all of those adds up. That's why I said
Mhm.
make sure that you choose the right house. If you put an offer on three different houses and you all got all three of them on the contract, you will have to do an inspection on all three of them.
Oh
So can
yes,
you
don't
imagine
we know
taking
that?
$3,000 out of your pocket? Okay,
Yeah,
three
remember
thousand dollars out of your pocket just to do an,
clients, one of
an
our
inspection on a
customers
house.
did that.
Who did that?
One of our customers, remember?
Yeah, yeah, she did
Yes,
that. No, she
yes.
did that. She did that. But finally, I put my foot down. I said, "This is the house that you're gonna buy." Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I pointed out all the things to her. I said, "There's
Right.
wood rot on the house. Okay, okay. There's this. There's that. There's that." I pointed all that stuff out to her. So you're not going into it blind.
And
I
plus
am
it
here to
had
help you
good
look around.
bones.
Huh?
Plus it had good
It
bones.
had good bones.
That's
I
the
talked to
most
her
important
yesterday.
thing.
Yesterday was Saturday. Friday, I think it was Friday. I talked to her. The house has good bones.
Mm-hmm.
And they like it because it's off of a main road.
Yes.
And a lot of people keep asking me if a lot of Jamaican lives in Ocala. There's a lot of Jamaican lives in
Mm-hmm.
Ocala because you can find enough land and you can find a good house for a good price.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a bad area to be living in. It's a good area to be living in. If you're looking at a house for three
And
fifty
it's
or three
central.
seventy five, it's a great buy
Yeah.
up there. So
It's
go
near to the
outside.
highway.
Uh
It's near to the highway.
Yep, it is. It's
Yeah.
near to the highway. So go outside. If you go outside Central Florida, even in Davenport, Catherine
Mm-hmm.
and I was going over some stuff, and we're updating some of my YouTube videos and the thumbnails. And there was one property that was down it was in Davenport. And can you imagine, 3 years ago or 2 years ago, the property was 200,000. Now it's like
I
it's like
remember.
it's like 150,000, 200,000. I've
Yeah,
got
that's what I was just going to say. 100 and something thousand, you could get a nice house with a pool, because most of those houses down there have pools
Yeah.
because they were built for the tourist attraction.
So yeah, but it's a great time to still be buying. Don't jump into the market when there's multiple offer, guys. Okay, you need to jump into the market when like a market right now, because there's
Mm-hmm.
money still sitting out there waiting for you guys to buy a home. Okay, the only thing you need to do, you need to take the first time home buyers class. Your credit score need to be between 620 or 640 depending on the lender. Okay, each lender is different. One might say 640, one might say 620, and that's all you need to do. And then the lender will, in a turn, apply for those grants or those bonds for you and help you get those. You don't need to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
They will let you know what you're qualified for.
Exactly.
So keep in mind, remember, inspection is important. So you want to make sure that this is a large purchase. You want to make sure that when you go inside this home, there's no termite on it. You want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that the home is at least the hot water heat is okay when the inspector does it. That don't mean after the inspector is done it's going to be okay, because it's a hot water heat and stuff does break. Hi, Catherine. Catherine is saying hello.
Hello.
She's laughing. She give me a star on the eyes. Yep. Catherine is my assistant, and she's in the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
and she's so
Oh,
awesome. Yes, last night all night she was working on my YouTube channel. She was updating the thumbnail, and then also she worked on an app for me. I tested it. I sent it to Berto's phone. So, but she's such an awesome person. She's got three of them that works together, and they all do such a great job making me look good. So,
wonderful.
Catherine, I thank you. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your help with my clients and my family, my friends, and everybody all around. I appreciate you, girl. Appreciate you. So yeah, so that's inspection.
Appreciate you too, Catherine.
Beverly, you got anything to say about insurance?
Not really. Didn't we talk about insurance
I'm
last
talking
week or
about
the week?
housing. I'm talking about
Housing
I think,
insurance,
well, yeah,
property
insurance now.
insurance.
Insurance is getting better. The insurance is getting better. It's gonna get better. Okay, we don't have any issue with insurance with new construction.
New
The
construction,
issue
right.
that we have is when the house is a certain years old and it needs a 4-point inspection, it
Mm-hmm.
need a wind mitt and things like that. Those are the issue that we're having. And if anything, the other day I learned about um cloth wire. I've never heard that
About
incident.
what?
Cloth, cloth wire. What
Cloth
it is,
wire.
it's a like a material, and it's wrapped
Wrapped
over.
over the electric.
Yeah, and the house that we closed on that the lady got the 40,000. That was it, the cloth wire. But citizens were able to finance it.
I've
Citizens,
never seen cloth. I've
I,
never
that's my
seen
that's
that.
my that's my first time of seeing that. But citizens were able to find. Citizens is taking the burden of all the insurance now, just about.
Citizens is the
We call
Florida
it, we
insurance.
call it the Florida insurance.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
insurance are coming back in the state of Florida. At the
I
meeting,
hope
I
they
heard.
do. I
Yeah, I
hope they
heard that
do
that
because
they applying to come back. Now that
yeah,
things is gonna settling down, so that will get better. And then I want to see more affordable housing.
yeah.
Make sure
You
people
know,
are getting up,
this
because they're building apartment like crazy. Because people, and
I've
then my sister was telling me yesterday. She said, "Viv, one little one bedroom is like it's like $1,800 for a little one bedroom, or $2,000 or something like that. Some crazy price."
and as you talk about affordable homes, and you were saying something like 300 and so 300,000, I'm saying they should start for the people who really want to go in their own homes, but they don't have the money. Build some homes like at say a 3 bedroom, like 200,000 to 250
Yeah,
for those people.
and
You'd be
and
surprised. The
right, and just
builders,
find the material. Okay, find the material. I know material is expensive, but find the material. Maybe you don't use a block. Maybe you use a siding or something like that. Maybe you do manufacture. Maybe you do like a modular home or something like that, in order for them to be able to get, let even say 300,000. Okay,
mhm,
and even at 350, I'm good at 350, anywhere between, just like you said, 200 and 350, because that's usually, I think that's a sweet spot for everyone. So even if they build some houses for that, and they're not concrete block, but they're modular home, they're built in a factory, and then you can put them on the land. Okay, something
Mm-hmm.
like that, just like how they build those tiny houses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Something like that to make it affordable, because a lot of people can't afford these apartments, and the people have to move out of it. A lot of people are living in their car. You remember the young lady
Oh, yes.
that
Mm-hmm.
talk came and talked last week at the end of the talk. She said she was living in her car. you know
Wow.
and that shouldn't be. I always say this is
Because
America.
rent should never be that high where it goes through the roof and people
Yeah,
can't even afford it.
this is America. We should be
It would
coming up with
have to
a
be
solution.
two and three of you to afford a two-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. This the government can subsidize the apartment for certain people.
They can
Certain
for a
people
certain period
who,
of time. They do, but then it's hard to find because people don't leave out of those apartments. And then there's also Section 8. You know,
yes, Section
they,
8, but
they, section,
Section 8 will
they
keep you
subsidize it.
sitting. Section 8 will keep you in your car for a long time because it takes so
Yes.
long
Yeah, it
to
takes
approve
too long.
Section 8. You'd be living in your car
Yeah. So then,
if you
but
have one, or living under a bridge if you don't have a
yeah,
car.
but something needs to be done when it comes to that affordable
Yeah,
housing, of
I
getting
mean,
something, just like you
the
said, between
city, the
200 and
government
350.
need to do better for the citizens, not just looking out for the rich ones,
Yeah.
but look out for the little ones.
I'm going to
Because
be
when
joining
you
public
do something
policy.
for the little ones, they're the ones who are going to vote for you.
Yes.
So you need to look out for those people.
Yeah, I'm going to
And
be
they're not
getting
doing
more
that.
involved with public policy, because when my mentee that I have, she says, you know what, Viv, you always have such an advocate. You're such an advocate for the community. I think you should get involved in public policy. So I am going to join that committee for next year, public policy, because since I'm going to be president elect for the association, then I don't have to worry about. I'm not going to chair any committees. I'm just going to be on the committee. I'm not going to chair any. So, but I
Mhm.
am going to join public policy to kind of help figure out, help, and
Look out for the little people.
look out for the little people. Look out for the
Mhm.
little people. Dig deeper into it to see how we can look
They
out for
can look
them.
out for themselves. We need to look for the little people to help them, lift them up.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, so
I'll
this is
be
my
there.
team right
I'll
here.
be there working with you. So
This
when you get to that stage, you just call me,
I
and
will.
I'll be working up
I
with you.
definitely will. So here's my team. Okay. This is my team right here. This is where you get all the support from. You have me at the top, and you got Michelle, you got Jose, you got Christopher, who's my transaction coordinator. Michelle is
Hmm.
a lender, and Jose is my broker. And then you got Land Trust Title, which is part of our office. You got Neville, then you
Hmm.
got Beverly, and then you got the three ladies on the bottom, which is Catherine. Catherine is the leader of the team, and she does a phenomenal job. She seems like she works around the clock. She texted me this morning and says, I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. I was still up. She said, "Girl, I'm tired. I'm going to bed." So anyway,
Hmm.
and then we got Abigail, and then we got Diane. So they both of them, So Catherine leads them, but they're all three of them does such a remarkable job. I appreciate it. They've been with me now almost 3 years. So since COVID, Catherine started me around COVID, and she's been with me now a while. But I'm happy to have her in my life. But she does a lot of this, all of this stuff that you see. She's the one that put this together for me back on Friday. This talking point.
Yeah,
But these are all the people that help support, guide you through your closing process. We talked about it in the home buyers class. There's a lot of people that put their hand inside the pot in order to get your deals closed.
exactly. Oh,
So
yes.
it's not just me. That's why I call it the Caribbean team, because I'm part of
Gotta
the
go
team.
with clean hands.
Yeah, yeah, a part of the team. So, but talk about post closing assistant. We have to make sure that we stand behind our people. Always be there looking out for them. If they need a referral, send them a referral. Check on them, make sure they're doing okay. Sometimes I don't do such a good job at it sometimes, but Catherine tried to do a better job with me because I got so much people in my database. I got about 5,000 people in my database. And then I've been in real estate now 15 years. So therefore I sold to a lot of people. And sometimes, I
Mm-hmm.
just see some of the people drop off and I don't get a chance to, keep in touch with them. But, Catherine does a nice job, calling them but we just have to make sure that we take care of our people, make sure that everything that they need, they reach out to us, whatever it is that they need, that they check with us. We should always have a good list of vendors, list of service providers. So when somebody calls, we're able to say, go check this person. I have a listing that's I'm going to be getting down in Davenport, and it was a referral because I do a lot of referral. Thank you guys for your referral. I get a lot of referral. But I went down there. I told him he needed the carpet clean and he needed the yard work. So he said, okay, well, I got somebody to do the yard work. While I was doing my open house down in Davenport, this young lady walked in, and this wife and husband walked in, and they had a cleaning service. So I sent that to him. So he said, yeah, I'm going to reach out to them. But that's
Mm-hmm.
what we do. We send referral.
Oh yes, absolutely.
We work by referral, but then it goes both ways, goes hand
Both
in hand.
ways,
It's
right?
not me sending you referral and you're not sending me back anything, because after a
Mm-hmm.
while I'm going to stop. It needs, even if you send a referral and nothing happens to it,
Right.
at least you have sent the referral. But you got to send the referral. You got to find great people to work with, because there's so many crooks that are out there, crooked people. They'll take your money, take half your deposit, and says they're going to go buy material, and you'll never hear anything back from them. Remember, folks, we talk about this in the home buyers class. Do not, we always tell them to get 3 estimates. Okay. Always, whenever you're making a payment, you give them the first payment, make sure they start the work. Okay. Make sure they get a certain point inside the work. And then after that, you might give them the next half. And then when they finish, then you give them the next half. Don't let
Mm-hmm.
them collect them. Don't let them tell you that they need the money to go pay their staff. That's their business. It is not your
Mm-hmm.
business. Okay. This is not your business. That's not how the way business is run. Business is run by, okay, a third, a third, a third. My mom was getting her patio done, and that's how the lady set it up. She set it up where you got the deposit, you give a deposit, and after that you reach in the middle and you give them another, and then at the end you give them another. Don't give them the entire
Mm-hmm.
amount. When the work is not done, because you know what, they will take that money. What I don't like, they will take that money and go start somebody else's job, and then leave your
Exactly.
job,
And
and then
leave yours
then
alone.
all of a sudden your job take 2 years, to
Mm-hmm.
finish, because they have all these little jobs. They have three jobs that they're working on at the same time. Finish one person's house and then move on to the next one. So finish one person and move on to the next one. But Catherine did such a nice job with these slides. You see how she did them? How nice she did them?
Oh, those
Yeah, she did a really nice job with it. You know,
mm,
but you see how she put the pictures and stuff like that. She did a fantastic job. But I am a realtor here in the Central Florida area, and I love being in the Central Florida area. And the reason why I am so close to Disney, and I tell people I live in Central Florida where Disney World is. Everybody wants to come to Disney World. Everybody wants to buy a house near Disney World. Everybody wants to be close to the airport. Everybody wants to be close to the turnpike, or close to the highways and things like that. But living in Central Florida, we don't have to worry about evacuated. The other day when the Irene came through, Idelia came through the other day.
mm-hmm.
We didn't have to worry about evacuating.
We
People
didn't
are
have to
building
worry
houses
about
down
a
here.
thing
We don't have to
because
worry
we're
about a
up on a
thing.
hill.
We're up in a hill and we're surrounded by that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just happy to be living here in Central Florida. I love being in Central. I've been down here since 1980,
And we have trees. We have
and we have
trees.
trees.
Some
We have trees.
places are devoid of trees. So any
We-
wind just go right through. There's
Yep,
nothing to stop it.
yep. But look at how beautiful Central Florida is. This is a picture of downtown Orlando.
Yes.
It is so. This is why
Yeah.
we live in Central Florida. This is why you should
That's
come and
like
buy real estate in Central
Eola
Florida.
there.
Huh?
That blue water, that's Lake Eola
Yeah, yeah. This is
with
Lake
the
Eola.
sun.
You can see that right back here. You can see right in the back between the palm tree.
Yeah,
You can see that.
beautiful.
You can see where that center is, where they usually play the music, and then of course those buildings are downtown. But it's just so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be living in Central Florida, and people sitting laying
They're
by the lake or
beautiful.
sitting by the lake and just hanging out. But it's a fast growing city. and everyone wants to live with. And then I heard about, I thought Disneyland was bigger than Disney World, but it's not. I heard that Disney World is bigger than Disneyland, because what happened is they didn't know that it was going to take off, so they only buy a little bit of land, and they didn't buy up all the land around it. Like, so Mr. Disney down here buy up all the land around Disney World, so now they're
Mm-hmm.
building their own cities. They've just got so much going on. But Disney World, between Disney and Lockheed Martin, are one of the largest employee in Central Florida.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the largest. So we're just happy just to have them here, and people come here for basking in the sunshine. Just
Yeah.
just so happy to be living here. But it's a great place to be living. It's a great place to raise your family. And we talk about the neighborhood. Don't forget to drive through the neighborhood, because there's so many different neighborhoods. Drive through them to make sure, whether it's Winter Park, what if you're looking for higher ends homes, drive through the Winter Park area. Lake Nona. I love living in Lake Nona, where you can probably walk to just about everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just about everything you can walk through. Thornton Park is another nice neighborhood, downtown Orlando, where you can actually walk through it. And they have the business down at the bottom, and they have all the
The apartments
living
on top.
space. Yes, they have all the apartments on top of it. So
Those are expensive
yeah,
with a big E.
just a beautiful place to be living downtown.
Yes.
And a lot of the millennials like to live down there, because you know what, a lot of them they just want to walk, or they want to bike or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So it's great. But Beverly and I here, we live in Claremont. We live in
I
the
love
Rolling
Claremont.
Hills, and I love living in the Rolling Hills. But when I was
Yes.
young, we used to hang out downtown Orlando. I remember there was Macy's down there, and there was J.C. Penney downtown, and we used to hang out down there. I remember there was some place called the Firestone. I remember it was a Firestone at first, where we used to go get our tire changed, and after that they changed it into a nightclub. So that was pretty cool. But for me to be down here since 1980, I see Central Florida change.
Mm-hmm.
The change, the building, the build up, the cut down of the orange tree. When I first got here in 1980, it actually snowed, and I was able to hold my hand out and catch snow in my hand. But after that, we haven't seen that since. And because of that, a lot of the frost killed off a lot of the orange trees, and of course that cancus that came in killed off a lot more after that. But
Yeah.
living in Central Florida is awesome, isn't it?
And even on 27, they killed off all those orange trees and building homes. And 27 goes straight down. I remember the amount of orange trees that had lined the two sides of 27.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Now, even the last one, they're killing those orange trees and building homes now. Remember, we're passing there and they're putting this kind of highway through
Yeah,
it to go over to Winter Garden.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Beverly and I always laugh. I always laugh at Beverly. Beverly and I, when we go to Ocala, Beverly always said, "No, no, no, they cutting down all the trees. There's not going to be any land." I said, Beverly, when you go up in the plane and look, there is so much land, that has not been built on,
Mhm.
but Central Florida is evolving, and we got to evolve with it. Just like my coach teach me about Chat GPT, and he's saying that Chat GPT is going to take away a lot of people's job, and that's for real. Because you know what, how they used to be doing your blog, or they used to be doing writing your book, or something. They used to be ghostwriter stuff. Nowadays, all you have to do is go on Chat GPT and tell
Writers, they
GPT
take
what
away
you want.
writers'
Write me
job.
I want me 10 chapters, and I want them to be this, and I want them to be that, and so you got to evolve. So it's the same thing with the
Mhm.
building. We
They take
can't sit
away
here and
most of
say,
the writers' jobs.
yeah, there
All
you
those
go. They're going
writers
to
in
lose.
Hollywood
And that's what Hollywood
striking.
was talking about. Exactly. So a lot of people are going to be losing their jobs. So you got to evolve. You got to change
Mhm.
with it. You can't just be stagnant
You
and,
have to
and
move
be
with
the
the
same.
times.
You have to.
Mhm.
You can't be you can't say that you're gonna you're not gonna change, or I'm not gonna do this, and whatever, whatever. I always tell Pastor Ed, before our new pastor that we got, Pastor Chris, I always said, if we don't change, and we don't get young blood, or we don't get new people, inside the church is going to die, because if all the older
Mm-hmm.
people die off, the church is going to die. So, but our church is always filled up of mixture of a lot of kids and stuff like that. And, and the youth pastor and the children pastor, they always do such a phenomenal job with the children.
Yeah.
We gotta evolve with it. We gotta change with it. We can't just be
Oh,
stagnant.
yes, you got to change with the times.
Yeah, I
You
gotta change with
can't
the time.
just sit
Yeah.
and hoping that it's going to happen to you. You have to make it happen.
That's it. You got to make it. You got to make it happen. Let's talk a little bit about determining your property, how much your property is worth. So we talked about how the seller wants a lot of time wants to price their property above whatever it's worth. Sellers, you've got to price your property a lot of time what your realtors recommend. Okay, I know you always want to go higher because you say you got to negotiate down.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to price your property for what the property is worth. You can't go above, because then it sits on the market and it just sits on the market and it sits on the market.
You see,
You know,
sometimes I don't understand how the price is derived. And so they will look on their house and said, "Oh, my house is better than that one up there. So I
right,
want so many thousands above that one."
right, and you don't know
Not
what's inside their
knowing
house.
what is inside of that one
Exactly,
or
exactly.
the landscape of that one. And mine might not be as good, but yet, because I may have more square footage, I want a bigger price on mine. But it doesn't work that way.
Yep, you got to stay. You got to stay with your
Yeah.
recommendation, because when we pull your property value, we pull your property value from what has sold in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we always want to know your square footage, so we can make sure we're comparing, because I'm not going to compare a single story to a two-story, because
Right.
that's totally different. I'm going to compare a single story to a single
So a
story and
single
a two-story
story.
to a story, and what's selling. And it's the same thing that the inspectors and the same thing that the appraiser is going to do. They're going to compare apples to apple. Okay, they're not going to do lemon to lime or lemon to
Lemons
pineapple.
and
Right, right.
apples.
Right. They're gonna.
Lemons and
That's
apples.
it. Apple to apple. Okay. So that's how you price your property. Price your property by what your realtor recommends. Okay, not what you think your property is worth. Not unless
Mm-hmm.
you got an appraiser. If you hired an appraiser and they say this is what your property is worth, then so be it. Then that's what it's worth.
Exactly.
That's who determine your property. A realtor don't give you an appraisal, because a realtor is not an appraiser. A realtor gives you
Exactly.
a market analysis or something called a CMA. A market analysis, that's what they give you, a workup of your property of what's sold in the area. So that's how that works. Okay, so don't price your property above what it's worth. Tips for home buyers. What are some of the tips that you have for home buyers, Beverly?
You know, the first thing I would say, look at your finances. Check to see, will I be able to pay my mortgage and pay it on time? Will I have that funds coming in to pay it and pay it on time? Because that is so important, to pay your mortgage on time. Then you're going to look at where you want to live. View the property, go drive through night and day and see if that town or that city or what have is good for you. Think about your children. If you're raising children, are children in the neighborhood? What about the schools? Are good schools in the neighborhood? Where would I send my children? Can I do they bus children from here to another school? Or say, for example, I want my child to go to a magnet school.
Mm-hmm.
Would they bus them or have to drive them? Think about my job and how am I going to bus my children? Whether I'm going to drive them or a bus will come and pick them up. Those are the things at the beginning that you need to look at, before you start thinking of where to shop for. Those are some of the little things that, I'm thinking of right now.
Okay,
But
so I
there
got
are
I
so
got
many
budget.
other things that
Yeah,
we
yeah.
need
I
to
got
look at.
budget. I got mortgage. Okay, just like you
Hmm.
said, these I'm just going over the things you're saying. The
Hmm.
budget, Find out, make sure you're not house poor. Find out what you can afford.
Exactly.
Research your neighborhood, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and get a trusted realtor to guide you through
Mm-hmm.
the
Oh
process.
yes,
Okay,
absolutely. That is very important.
making sure that
Yeah.
let's say you chose a realtor and the realtor is new, making sure that somebody's mentoring that realtor, because a
Mm-hmm.
new
Mm-hmm.
realtor do not know how to sell a house or know how to
Right.
sell house to a buyer, and do not.
And two,
You need that mentorship, because when you
yes,
inside real estate school, they don't teach you how to sell a house.
exactly.
They teach you just the
The
law of
teacher, the
protecting the
theory,
public. That's it.
and that's it,
Okay, the
not the
theory, and that's it.
practicals.
So you got to go out there, you got to learn. So I
Yeah.
always said, make sure that when if it's a brand new person that just got into real estate, they haven't closed on any deal. I had a friend of mine that I sold her the house. It was a referral. I sold her the house, and then all of a sudden she wants to sell it because she was moving out of town. So this young guy, he's a young realtor, and he just knew, never closed on anything, put the offer on the house, and then he put the offer on the house, did the inspection within 5 days or something like that, real quickly. And then after that, he canceled the contract. All he had to do was, the buyer put the offer on the house. So that means the buyer might have liked the house. So then go to the
Mm-hmm.
seller and negotiate. You don't know how to negotiate. So then he ended up canceling it within the same day. All you had to do, and then the next day we got a contract right back on it. But you know what buyer's agent did? Their experience. So they did their inspection and came back and said, okay, there's $2,900 worth of stuff need to be fixed. The seller says, okay, 2,900. She didn't argue. They didn't argue. They said,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Okay. That's negotiation. Okay.
Exactly.
And I'm one of those, I don't put word into seller's mouth.
Exactly.
I always, because if it was me, I probably would have said no. Okay, but I took it back to the seller and I said, they said $2,900 worth of work need to be done on the house. And we know that because it was like a little wood rot someplace. And I think with the well, something was going on with the well, because it's on a well, and there was something that needed to be fixed on the well. And then there was a shower. I think that was the pipe was either backwards, and the water was on cold, or it was not hot, something like that. But it wasn't much to fix it. So it was about 2,900. The seller
Mm.
says fine. We closed on the house. The seller got her check, our big check for 200 and something $1,000. And let me tell you, one of the first realtor that came and looked at the house, and she said to me, because the buyer bought the house for 300 and something $1,000 way back when, okay, 2 years ago, COVID time. Now we ended up putting it back on the market. So let's say she bought it for 375,000. We ended up putting it back on the market, Beverly, for 500 and something thousand. The
Mm-hmm.
realtor came to me and said to me, "When don't you think it's priced a little bit high?" I said, "No, that's what the house is worth." And you know what? The house appraised.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we do is, we are not an appraiser, okay? It's not for you to look at the tax record and say this is what the seller pays for the house,
Right.
and
Yeah, a
therefore
lot of
I'm not
people
giving you
doing
no
that,
more than
and
this,
that's
because the
wrong.
seller only paid $200,000 for a house. So there's no way I'm gonna give you $575,000 for that house.
Yeah, just the other day, this person was looking at a house, and she said, but they only pay this for it, and now they want such and such for it. I said, you cannot look at that. You have to look at what the house is value now, the market, what the person, you forget that that person put money in that house. You forgot that that person spent to fix this, fix that, fix that, you know, while they're living in it. They don't just go live in it and just live and the house break down around them. But a lot of people just looking at what the people pay for the
But
property.
that's why we
And
educate them, Beverly,
yeah, that's why we have to educate them.
because
Yeah,
that's not the way it goes. You need to make some money on your house, because the house is selling for what it's worth right now, not what you
exactly.
paid for it, not what you bought
Absolutely.
it for. And just like I told you, the house appraised. We didn't have no issue with appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I listed it. I went on the RPR. Okay, and I saw what the house was worth. The seller had priced it before I told her what to price it at. So let's say I told her to price it at $570,000. She ended up just for example, she ended up pricing at 80,000. Okay, let's say that. And then
Mm-hmm.
so she looked at it, she went away and realized that it wasn't sitting on the market, because we had offers like right away. But the
Yes.
one lady told us that. So she did went ahead and she looked online and find something. So she called me and she said, "Hey Viv, I saw that my house is the highest priced house per square footage in there." I said, "Let's go ahead and lower it." We lower it, but we were still getting offer in between because it didn't sit on the market. I think that house closed within about 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we got to do. We have to guide our sellers and tell our sellers what they're supposed to list at. If they decide not to list at what we recommend, that's on them. Okay. We always give them a recommendation of what's selling in the neighborhood, price per square footage, how long the property is sitting on the market. So remember, we are the expert. We are the expert, and we're supposed to give them the guidance that we find that's in the multiple listing service. That's why the multiple listing service is there, in order to help them make a smart decision of not overpricing your house.
Exactly.
Closing the deal. Okay, we're at closing the deal. Closing the deal is we're at the final step where you close the deal. Not everybody can close the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone can close the deal. Just like I just told you about that young guy. He never sold any house. He did the inspection and then canceled the same day. Did the inspection the same day and canceled the contract the same day, because he's inexperienced. Because if he was not inexperienced, he would have closed that deal. He would have came back and says, "My buyer have an issue with these things," and then I asked him for the inspection report. He didn't want
But
to send me the inspection report, and he's canceling the contract.
you know what? I don't understand how his broker didn't step in.
Well, you know what? The thing is, your broker don't have to step in. Your broker only step in when you have an issue. Because remember, it's your business.
Yes,
Okay,
it's our business,
your
but
your broker don't know
something
every
like
offer
that.
that you put in.
Don't you
No,
go to his broker and
no,
discuss it
your
with him,
broker.
especially when you don't have experience?
Yeah, your broker don't know every
You
offer
talk
that
to
you
your
put in. So it's
broker.
not your broker's fault. Don't blame it on the broker.
No, I'm not blaming it on the broker. I said he should probably bring it up to his
He was on a
broker.
team. He was on a team. So, the team should have told him that.
Uh,
But just like I said, he was inexperienced. I remember my first deal that I was writing, Beverly. I'm no lie. I was so nervous that I talked myself out of it. Okay, I taught the buyer out of it. But that's why I said people need to get mentors that can help them. Help them, guide them, just comfort their nerves. Just like how we have mentors at Florida Realtor and mentors at NAR. People need to get mentors to help them. Just like I said, if you have a new realtor out there, you want to use that new realtor, make sure that new realtor has a mentor, because if not, your deal don't go that well. Because they don't know how to guide you. They don't know how to negotiate. Because right
mhm,
now, you took the 60 hour class and you still have 45 more hours that you got to take. So in
exactly.
between, you're not taking any of those
I'm
extra
coming.
curriculum that you need, and you need all of those extra stuff. You need the negotiation class. You need whatever you need, all of those extra things in order to help you, because they don't teach you how to sell a house in real estate class. They just
Hmm.
teach you just the basic stuff. You got to go
That's
learn to sell real
scary.
estate on your own. It's scary.
The practical things, you got to learn it on the job.
Yes. Elizabeth, thank you. Elizabeth says, great. Thank you. Just subscribe. Great. She said, great tip, Elizabeth Clay. But yeah, so closing the deal is really important. Okay. You got to know how
Hmm.
to close the deal. You got to know once you get on the contract, you got to know how to take it to the closing table. And I've been in real estate now over 15 years. How long you been doing real estate, Bev?
Mm, since about 2016.
Okay, so you've been in it a little bit too. You've been in it a little
Hmm.
bit, but you got to know how to navigate. That's You're the realtor. You sit in the middle, and you got to navigate so many channels. You got to make sure you take your lenders, inspectors, closing company, title company, all of that stuff. Attorney, if attorney is involved, you got to manage all of that stuff. That's why you sit in the middle, and that's why I have Christopher. And then Christopher does that for me. So I'm not reaching out to lenders. I'm not reaching out to inspectors. You can reach out to them. They
Hmm.
do communicate with me as well. But then he's the one that reach out to all of those people for me, because he's the one that he takes my contract from contract to closing.
Yeah, if you were to do all those things by yourself, you would burn yourself out.
I would, and I wouldn't get
Yeah.
anything done. But
Hmm.
it helps me for me to be able to have. That's why I have a team of people that's behind me, and they help
Mm-hmm.
me to close my buyers and take care of my buyer, make sure my buyers are okay, because I work for reviews. Okay, I work for reviews.
Yes.
I need good reviews. Whether you're gonna give me a video review, you're gonna give me a Google review, whatever
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna go on Zillow, you're gonna wherever you go, realtor.com and give me a review. I work for review because I want to make sure when I'm done with you, you are
You're
satisfied.
happy. You're
I take care of you
satisfied.
and you feel like you're the only person that I'm working with, even though
Mm-hmm.
I have lots of other people that I'm working with, because that is what I'm there for. Beverly and I, that's why I have Beverly and I have Neville and I have all the other people that are on my team, to make sure that we're giving you, the very best of the best service, because
White glove service.
yes. We call it there, what's that hotel called? What's the name of that hotel? The Ritz
Ah,
Carlton Hotel Service. The Ritz Carlton Hotel Service. That's what we need to make sure that we give you.
mm-hmm.
But in a
Give
world of
them top-notch
uncertainty,
service.
yep, very much, very much. In a world of uncertainty,
And
real estate
service is number
remains a
one.
real, reliable, and secure investment in your
Mm-hmm.
future. Just like Beverly was saying, don't look on the tax record and says, "Well, this is what the seller." This is another incident. I sold three houses in Tangelo Park, right by Universal Studio, and that guy bought those houses for $25,000. He bought those,
Wow.
and he was able to sell those houses for almost $300,000, three of them.
They
Can you
were
imagine?
broken down.
Can you imagine that? So, can you imagine if somebody looked at the tax record and says, "Well, he only paid $25,000 for that.
Yes.
There's no way I'm giving him $350,000 for that
Well,
house."
don't. Somebody else will.
Somebody else will, and somebody did. God, I sold all of them.
Yeah.
And those little houses, you'd be surprised to know those are the biggest commissions.
Mm-hmm.
I remember getting one side. I remember getting both sides for both of them. So, do not look on the tax record and say this is what the seller paid for the house. That's why you buy this house. That's why
Mm-hmm.
it's an investment. So you can sell it back and you can make money, or you can leave it to your
That's
heir,
right.
your children, or you can will it to somebody. Don't forget
Mm-hmm.
that you can put your house inside of a trust. Okay. So then therefore, when you die or whatever happens, then you don't have to worry about it. My mom has her house. It's not in a trust or anything, but my brother's she and my brother bought it together, so it's just going to pass on to him. He's going to be responsible for the mortgage.
Right now,
that's just the way
um,
it goes.
right now, I'm going to do a ladybird deed on mine.
What's a ladybird deed?
It's it's a deed that a lawyer draw it up,
Mm-hmm.
and it is passed to the person you want to have it at your death,
Mm-hmm.
not before. Right at your death. No lawyer, no nothing. And you don't have to pay that big stamp tax
Okay.
if you are, doing a regular transfer.
A ladybird. Okay,
Ladybird
I'm
deed.
gonna have to look that up, because
Yeah,
my house I
research
put it in a
that.
trust, so it just
A
passed.
lot of people don't know about it.
That's why I said
Yes.
we're probably gonna do a podcast on that.
Yeah, ladybird deed.
Yeah. So research that and send me some information on it,
Okay.
and then we'll check it out. Because if I've not heard about it, that means a lot of people have not heard about it. So let's do some research on that. How people can put their house inside of a trust, so when they pass on, they don't have to worry. The family don't have to worry about the
This
taxes.
is not a trust. This is a deed. Just like you would go to the courthouse and you deed your property to whoever you want.
Right.
Yeah, but
That's
this you have to. It goes to the courthouse too, but
Right.
it's not deeded right away. It's not transferred. I should say transfer.
Right.
It's not transferred right away. It transfer upon your death. Say,
Okay.
for example, now, say my house, and I deed it to my son. If I want to take some money off it, I can't, because it deeded, somebody else own it. But with the ladybird deed,
Mm-hmm.
you can do whatever you want,
Okay.
because the property does not transfer until you die.
Okay. So that's why I said let's do some research on that,
Yeah.
and we can do a podcast on that.
Lady Bird deed.
Indeed. Yeah, let's do that so we can see, because I've never heard of that. So I'd like
Okay.
to hear some more about it. So we can schedule a podcast on that and talk about that. But
Yeah.
as we come to the end of our show, this is my contact information. If you're looking to reach out, remember there's a lot of help out there. If you're looking for closing costs, down payment assistance, anything you're looking for, if you're looking for your credit to be repaired, inside the program that we teach, the HEA program, Housing and Alliance program. They do have a credit repair, which you don't have to pay for anything. If you're in Orange County, you get a grant. You get a grant and you get that paid for, taking care of your credit. If not, some of the lenders that are out there, if your credit is not too way off, they can help you fix it. They have people that are there that are standing by to fix it. So do not let anything stop you from buying a house. The most thing that right now is stopping people from buying a house, purchase a home, is student loan. Because there's so much debt. Remember,
Mhm.
people, find grants, find whatever it is. My
And
daughter went to 6 years worth of college, and she came out of school debt free, no debt. There's so much money out there, folks. There's so much money out there. You
that
got
I
to
want
find
to
the
tell
money.
you
You
about
gotta you
that
gotta
too.
show. Jerry Maguire had that movie, says, "Show me the money." There's so much money out there. Okay,
Hmm.
ask your realtor, ask your lender. Okay, if
Like,
you ask one
like,
lender and they don't have anything, go to the next lender and ask the next lender. That's why I said interview a bunch of lenders. Don't let them pull your credit. Interview them to see what kind of program they have out there. No matter what it is, if it's even $1,000, if it's even $7,000, there is something out there that you can get. Even if they don't have anything, ask them to give you a lender's credit. Okay, they can give you a lender's credit. But there's, you guys don't know that. I'm telling you stuff behind the scenes of what's going
yes,
on. What's going on. I'm just telling you, when there's favors out there, when God has favors down on your life, you gotta use it. When God put people
absolutely,
in front of you for a
absolutely.
reason, you gotta use it. Okay, don't be naive and said you don't need this, or
Hmm.
go take out all your money out of your 401k to put down on the house, when you could, there's other helps out there. There's a lot of help. Tampa is giving up to almost $100,000 in grant. Orange County is giving 50,000, up to 50,000 in grants, and they're giving down payment and closing costs. So it's not just one thing that they're giving. They're giving both. So therefore, you might only take out $1,000 out of your pocket, and you're able to get in a home. You need your $1,000, 1% of the property, or $1,000, depending on what you're going to sell and negotiate. And then you're going to need your inspection money. So just like I said, making sure that it's one house you're going to inspect, your inspection might be about $600. So you can take out $1,600 out of your pocket in order to get in a home. What you can't get in a home with in an apartment with anything like that with $1,600. You're going to need first month rent, last month rent, and your deposit.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, so take advantage of it, people.
Yes, yes, yes. I second that.
Take advantage of it.
Hmm.
But here we are. We're at the end of our podcast, and I thank you guys for listening. This is a Sunshine State, and I enjoy living here since 1980. I always tell people that it's close to Jamaica, so I don't have to fly too far, to fly to Jamaica. But I want to go to Jamaica in December, and I already booked my flight. My mom, my sister, and I are going. But I'm just telling you, my daughter up north wanted to go, so she called me and she said to me, Mom, I want to go to Jamaica. I said, well, girl, it's too expensive right now. Let's plan next year, go September, October, because that's the most reasonable time. Right now, to go to Jamaica, the flight alone, okay, is almost $700. Okay, the flight alone to go to Jamaica in December. And then the hotel is another, I forgot, some ridiculous, like $1,500 or something like that. But because we're having a family reunion out there this year, we decided we're going to go in Christmas. And plus, I haven't spent Christmas in Jamaica since I was small. So I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to that. Next year I go either on mom birthday month or my birthday month, because that's the most reasonable. But I can't wait to spend Jamaica and Christmas drinking maybe some Coca-Cola water and eating up some this and that. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward. Next month, this month here, I'm going to the Dominican Republic. In October, I'm going on a cruise to different, I think, three different islands, and then I'm going to California in November. So I am like busy as a bee. So that concludes our talk. But I thank you guys for watching. Beverly, you have any last saying?
Yes, I'm saying, to whom it may concern, you've got a wealth of information. please use it. That's
Yep.
my last word.
All right, so make it the best day of your life. You never know when it's your last. Don't forget to join us on the next episode of Your Voice Matter. And if you want to hear about a topic, please feel free to jot me a message below any of these podcast recording. Just like Beverly's talking about the ladybird deed that I don't know about. Pastor was talking today about if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room. Okay, you are in the
That's
wrong
right.
room. You should
You
not
want
be
to
the
be-
smartest one in the room.
And
So,
if you're
that's why a millionaire hangs out with billionaires, and billionaire hangs out with trillionaires. Okay, you got to keep moving it up. You can't if you're the
and if
smartest
you're
one,
the
you're in the wrong room.
smartest one in your group,
Yeah, you're in the wrong group.
you're in the wrong group. Find
Okay.
another group.
Find
There
another
are people
group
smarter than you, some smarter than you, and some less smarter.
because you're not learning
And
anything.
strive to find people who are smarter than you and who know more than you.
You
Just
are
like myself and Dick.
That's it. So you are
He knows a lot more than I do, but guess what?
And Beverly knows a
I
lot more than me than the Bible. I rely on Beverly. Beverly relies on me for the real estate part, and I rely on her for the Bible. So I'm always learning. As a matter of fact, I'm so excited. Pastor gave us a new app, and I'm going to share it with you, Beverly. I am so excited. He said that.
Yeah, I love that.
The Assembly of God been working on it now. I think he said for 3 or 4 years. So finally it's finished, and he had us download it. So I'm so excited where I can share Bible verse back and forth with you and bounce it back and forth.
I would love
that. I changed up my prior thing about a week ago, 7 days ago, where I'm getting up in the morning and I'm getting up early and I'm spending about 20 minutes to 30 minutes in the Word and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
be with him every morning.
When God speaks to you, you got to
do.
listen. You got to listen. It's just like today I was in church and God spoke to me, and I needed some money, but to do something. But God spoke to me and said, "You need to go give this person this money." And you know what? I put it inside of an envelope, and I went and I said, God told me to come and bring this right in the middle of me worshiping. God said you need to bring this person this money, and right in the middle of it, I went and give her the money because I said I have to be humbled and have that discernment. God told me to do this, so here you are. Let me bless you. Just like with Beverly, every time Beverly cooks, she always says that every time I always tell her that I'm not hungry because Beverly will leave her house and bring the food to me. And so I have to tell Beverly I'm not hungry because she'll leave her house. So she says, stop blocking my blessings.
And sometimes she'll talk you into it. Leave it anyway.
But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. That concludes our podcast, and see you next time. God bless you. May you have an abundance. May your cup overflow it. And I thank you guys for listening. See you next time on Your Voice Matters.
Thank you for listening. See you on the next episode of Your Voice Matters.